unbeaten run is at an end after a 1-0 defeat here at the City Ground to Forrest. Let's get the thoughts from Ruben Amorim. He's with Jules Breach.
Ruben, not the result you wanted. What did you make of the match as a whole and your team's performance?
I think we controlled the game, but we already knew it that this team can score goals out of nothing, and then when they score, we change the game a little bit for what they want, and then we tried sometimes with good opportunities. But I think in the last third, the last cross, the last pass, the last assist wasn't there. And then when we don't have that, we cannot score goals. But we have some situations, but this season is like that. We try it. We had a lot of shots on goal. We pushed the opponent to the last third, but in the end we had a lack of quality in the final third.
You came very close at the end, though. Were you pleased with the character that your players shown to fight towards the end?
Of course, but we need to win games, and I think we deserve more in this game. That is clear. But was our fault. We need to be better in the last third. We cannot concede in the transition of a set pieces. So we should have won this game, not even draw. But in the end, we lost 3 points.
What disappointed you the most about the goal that they scored?
Everything, because you know the characteristics of the team, and you know that one goal can put them in a situation that they love, for more space for transitions, and we have to score 2 goals to win a match. So that is frustrating because it was in the beginning of the game. So we changed the game and we helped them to win 3 points.
Despite the result, you had been building a bit of momentum before the international break, but it is now still just 6 wins in your 19 Premier League games. Are you seeing any progress at all?
Yeah, I see it in the game. So I don't lie to myself. So everybody can say whatever they want to say. I see some things, but we need to win games. So we go to the next game.
What can you salvage from the rest of this Premier League campaign?
Go to the next match and not focus on that. What we can save. We have the Europa League and we have a next game in the Premier League, and that is the focus.
Thanks, Ruben.
Thank you.
The focus is to look ahead, but if you look back in Manchester United's Premier League history under Ferguson, with the 810 matches played, they lost 114. But since him, with the 448 matches played, they've lost the same number of games. That sort of sums it all up, doesn't it, Wrighty?
Yeah, but you are comparing a lot of people to Sir Alex Ferguson. You know, I think he's a 1 in a million. You do feel for Ruben Amorim because I don't know how many games he's been there now, but we're seeing maybe little bits of improvement. Like he mentioned, there's little bits of improvement. I can't see it personally properly, because when they're in a game and you're trying to see something different, especially when they go behind, you know, it's just when they come alive. And I don't know, maybe once the summer comes, maybe get some players in, we might see more progress with them. But at the moment, I think they just want this season to end.
I think the fans, I sense that they were happy with some of the performances before we went on the break. They felt like maybe his ideas were being implemented and the players were starting to show some progress, as you just said. But tonight, it just didn't feel like that.
No, I mean, I think the last Europa League game was there at Old Trafford. It did feel very different, scoring, the energy in the crowds. I felt like there was maybe a point to prove in some interviews that had been previously said about the team, about the squad. But look, tonight it's difficult because we're beaten by a better team and you don't have to have the ball for large parts of the game, but you have to be clinical. And what Man United have, they have a -4 goal difference. So as the manager alluded to there, we have to be better in the final third. Well, having a -4 goal difference isn't good enough. And where I think in terms of the focus is on the Europa League, Europa in terms of trying to get into that Champions League spot, you have to look at their table there. When you're making cost cuts for your fans, every position in the Premier League, 12th, 11th, is worth millions of pounds. So it's actually massive to try and move up the table in the Premier League as well when you're trying to get money, when everything is being stripped back of the club. So it's it's a massive few weeks. They've got Lyon in between that. They've got Newcastle. They've got the derby, you know, coming up as well. It's a busy 4 or 5 games for United, and it wasn't ideal for them tonight.
And if it wasn't for Murillo's amazing clearance, we could have been looking at a different scoreline. You kind of felt that it might happen for them, but it didn't in the end.
No, there is always something about United where I genuinely thought they would get something. I was saying it towards the end there, no one believed me, and there it was, Murillo came and like, he saved them. But his great movement from him, his awareness to, in that moment, to sense the danger. Look at him, he's already seen it. You know, he's obviously got a block there, but then that there from Harry Maguire was really good reaction from him. But it's great defending. It's great defending, and they know what to do. They know to defend very well because they've got players that can break and do what we saw Anthony Elanga do.
I said he was 5 million, he was 15, but he was worth the 10 million for that.
Exactly.
The goal line. But you know, the awareness, as Wright said, there was spot on.
Overall, Manchester United, 13th in the table. The focus, although he's saying the focus is on the next game, it's got to be on the Europa League surely now for them.
Yeah, but I still feel it will be the next game, but, you know, the main focus will be the Europa League because they know what can come from getting to the latter stages of that, winning that. So, of course, that will be Man United's, like, saving grace this season. But again, you know, they're safe in the Premier League. It's not like they've got a problem with the Premier League. So I think all the energy will probably go on the Europa League.
And if they were to win that and get into the Champions League, then it's a big task.
It'd be just like
summer.
Man United to do it that way as well.
It would, wouldn't it?
You know?
But then the task ahead is huge to try and get them ready for the Champions
Well,
League.
they're not a Champions League team, as what we're watching, because they're nowhere near it in terms of the Premier League table. But as Wright said, if there's anyone that could do it, it probably would be them to go and lift the trophy. And they have performed quite well in it, so you won't back against them. But it is their focus, sole focus, I believe. But like I said, when the owner's making cost cuts, every position in the Premier League is worth millions of pounds to try and climb that table. That's also vital for them as well. And you don't want to have where you finish, whether it be 13th, 14th, come the end of the season and have that for Man United, because it's not good enough for them.
He said he's seeing the progress in the games for you. Are you seeing that? Are there signs they're getting to grips with what he wants to do?
I think today, in terms of possession and playing out and playing through the lines and getting up to the final third, I thought there was an improvement, definitely. I mean, I watched them at Goodison. I said it was one of the most woeful performances I've seen from Man United in many years, especially in them areas. I think there's been an improvement in that sense. But they were toothless still. They had no kind of cutting edge to the team. There was nothing in the box. The goalkeeper, I'm sure, was really untested in the whole game today. And you see here in the clips again, they getting out and getting into these areas where you think, right, put the ball in the box there, but you need runners, you need people demanding the ball to be in there, you need players that are going to go, or that the wide man believes will be in there, that he has to put the ball in there because he knows that it'll be down his throat if the ball doesn't arrive. That isn't happening. Here again, decent run, gets into that area, but look how many people are in the box. One blue shirt in the box. Also, no, there's none now. Oh, there's one, yeah. So, but there's not enough people. You've got to flood the box. You've got to get in there and make defenders defend. This team like to defend. They can defend crosses. They're a resilient bunch. So you have to force them to defend. And bodies, you need to be in there. And the qualities, Martin mentioned passes inside the pitch there again. But until Maguire came on, there was no one in there actually even trying to get on the end of things.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a manager and you're picking your team and you look at what's available to you and you're looking at some players that you can really depend on, then you're looking at the people who can try and win matches for you. Bruno Fernandes can win a game for you. Then after that, you are really struggling. You're thinking about a centre forward. You're thinking about playing Xerxes at centre forward. Then you're thinking, well, if I take him out of the side, then I've got Højlund. Honestly, for Manchester United, that's just not good enough, really. And they can say all they want about it. They can say, I mean, it's not as if to say Højlund was a young lad, came in for a lot of money, and you think you'll just give him a chance. He's got to try and trap it. He's got to try and control the ball. He's got to try and hold the ball up. As I mentioned earlier about Xerxes holding the ball. Rio's right. Xerxes can't get into the penalty box, never mind anything else. And these are massive problems for you. As a football manager, you're thinking to yourself, wait a minute, we can have all the possession in the world. Yeah, we had loads and loads of possession. We expected that. And the most telling comment he made was when we went a goal behind and the Nottingham Forest, exactly what they got. They got the goal early on. They can sit in there. They can take you on the break. As he used the word transition, they can do that there. And he's thinking, I need to score 2 goals to win this game. I'm not going to be seeing it with this team. And that's his problem.
Yeah, and that's exactly where Forrest wanted to be. And when you look at what they've got coming up, Rio, it's the Manchester derby at the weekend. Then they've got the first leg against Lyon in the Europa League, a trip to St James's Park before the second leg
But
as
they're
well.
still partying. It's difficult games ahead. But is this the Premier
Bit
League?
too much.
You can still smell the alcohol in your breath. It's fine. But it is part and parcel of being a player at a big club. There's big games week in, week out. But they have to find a way to be able to hurt teams. I think what happens is if I'm an opposing defender and I feel that they haven't really got that much of a threat, that makes me want to step up on the pitch and squeeze the game without any feeling there's going to be anything behind. So then actually we're going to squeeze you and keep you there, and we got more opportunities then to punish you because you're so deep. They're not offering too much of a threat that way for other teams at the moment. Xerxes, Highland, and I think that's what's got to change. And them games you just highlighted there coming up, if they don't do that in these games, they'll get punished in those games.
Well,